Hello, high-level listeners, and welcome back to another conversation starter video, where we will show you how to start conversations naturally and correctly in English. So if you want to catch up with friends and get to know each other a bit better, these will be perfect for you.
Yes, that's right. You voted and we listened. So today's conversation starters are all about catching up with friends or loved ones. But what is catching up exactly? What does that mean?
So, catching up is seeing or meeting someone after a long time apart and telling them all the new things in your life since you last saw each other. Maybe you were really busy and couldn't see your friend for a while. Maybe you went on vacation and couldn't meet up. Maybe your schedules just didn't match up for a few weeks, but finally, you both have a chance to see each other again, and you're excited to tell them all the new things that have happened to you since your last meeting. This is catching up.
Okay, so just like our other conversation starter videos, we'll give you 7 easy to use sentences, structures, and questions that you can use in conversations with friends that you haven't seen for a while. We'll also give you some natural replies to each of the questions, so hopefully you can use these the next time you catch up with someone.
And one more quick thing, if you want a PDF transcript of this episode, which has every sentence and every example from this episode in a single downloadable file, please join us as a high-level listening member here on YouTube. You can take the transcript offline and study it at your own pace. So let's go ahead and get started with these conversation starters. Mark, what's a good way to start a conversation with someone you haven't seen in a while?
I've got 3 phrases you can use at the very, very start of the conversation. The first thing you say when you see your friend. Hey, long time no see. Hey, long time no see. It's been a while. It has been a while. It's been a while. There's an extra version of that. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while, hasn't it? Hello, stranger. Hello, stranger. Hello, stranger is a bit of a joke. Obviously, they're not strangers. They're your friend. You know each other, but it has been so long, it feels like they are a different person. You don't know them. You've never met them before. So this is a joke after a long time apart. Hello, stranger. If somebody says this to you, hey, long time no see, here are some replies that you can give. Hello, long time no see. Yes, too long. I've been working so much. Or, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been forever. How have you been? Okay, Kat, can you give us some more questions or phrases to start this catch up?
I really like the one, hey, stranger. I hadn't seen my friend's husband in months. I think he'd been really busy working. And when I saw him, he looked surprised to see me. And I said, well, hey, stranger. And he was like, oh, I know. I've been so busy. So, hey, stranger is kind of perfect to tease the other person a little bit. Say, we've been trying to make plans with you for months and months, but you've been busy, so you've been the stranger, right? Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. Meaning, like, hang out with us, catch up with us for sure. So when I said, hey, stranger, to my friend, he said, oh, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So it is a kind of a fun way to tease the other person a little bit, especially if you haven't seen them in a while and you are good friends, just haven't made time for each other. So, hey, stranger, I just used this the other day with a friend. Otherwise, oh my gosh, hi. It's so good to see you again. It's been so long. So, this is good as well if you happen to see someone out shopping, out at a cafe, and maybe you haven't had time to check in with each other, to catch up. And you say, "Oh my gosh, hi. It's so good to see you. It's been so long. It's been so long. I can't remember the last time we saw each other." I can't remember the last time we saw each other. So you're thinking, oh my goodness. Oh, I don't even remember. I can't remember the last time we saw each other. Another easy one. Haven't seen you in forever. We haven't seen each other in forever. In forever. That means that for a long time, right? Haven't seen you in forever. Sometimes I like this one too. How long has it been? A month? A few months? You're thinking about the time that has passed. How long has it been? When was the last time we saw each other? So, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. We have so much to catch up on. All right. So, let's continue on. Mark, go ahead and continue these conversation starters.
So you'll notice that we'll use the present perfect a lot in these conversation starters because we're sharing new things since the last time we saw each other. So we're using the present perfect from the last time we saw each other until today. So within this time frame. So naturally, at the beginning of a conversation, you might ask, "Hi, how are you?" The present perfect of "how are you" is "how have you been?" How have you been? So, hey, long time no see. How have you been? So, since the last time we saw each other until now, how have you been in this time frame? So, how have you been? How have you been? You can change you to other topics and other things. How has work been? How's work been? Especially if you know each other from work or you know your friend is very busy and that's why you couldn't catch up for a while. How's work been? Again, how's it been since the last time we saw each other? If someone asks you this question, "Hey, how have you been?" You could say, "Yeah, I've been good, thanks. Just keeping busy." So the question's in the present perfect and my answer is in the present perfect too. How have you been? I've been good, thanks. Just keeping busy. Just keeping busy with the usual stuff, you know? We're going to use just and you know with a lot of replies in this episode. You know is just a way to keep the conversation going. You know is also, it's normal, boring, everyday stuff. Nothing special, just the usual stuff, you know? If someone says, "How's work been?" It's been a bit hectic, but I'm learning a lot. Again, my answer's in the present perfect. How has work been? It's been a bit hectic or busy. Kat, do you have some more examples of these kind of structures?
Absolutely. So we do use the present perfect. So, how has life been? How have the kids been? How has the family been? But I would say it's probably more common in American English to just simply say, how has life been? How's life been? How's life? How's life? Because we're just asking you in general, how's life? So instead of how has life been, how's life been? We simply are asking how is life? But it's the same shortened word, how's. How's life? How are the kids? How are the kids? How are the kids? How's the family? Or the one that I like to ask is, how's the fam? How's the fam? Now, family could be mom and dad, family could be your kids, or family could be brother and sister. How's the fam? How's the fam? How's the family? We usually, how's your family is also good to say, but how's the fam? It's just in general, how is your family doing? How are they doing? How's the fam? Very common, very casual, good conversation starters. So, a few responses for this. If I say, how's life? Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So, while I asked, how's life in general? It's been good, just like Mark said. since the last time we saw each other. Oh, it's been good lately. Oh, it's been really nice lately. Okay, so that's more than just, it's good. Life is good. Well, it's been good lately. Maybe before that, it wasn't as nice. Oh, it's been really good lately. How are the kids? They're growing up so fast. They're growing up so fast. This is probably one of the most common sentences that I hear from parents when I say, how are the kids? How are the kids? They're growing up so fast. And it's true. Kids grow up so quickly. How's the family? How's the fam? They are good. They're good. They've been great. They're great. Thanks for asking. All good, all good. Everyone's good. All good, all good. Everyone's happy. Everyone's healthy. Things are good. Things are good. All right, let's continue on with our next conversation starter.
So another structure you can use and another question you can ask to catch up with your friends is, what have you been? And then the idea or the topic. One really good question is, what have you been up to? Up to. What have you been up to? Up to means do or doing. But if you said, what have you been doing? It doesn't sound quite casual or conversational enough for my friend. I wouldn't phrase it like that. I will use a more casual, more friendly version. What have you been up to? And up to can be anything from hobbies, vacations, family, work. Up to covers any action. So it's a really good all-rounder. What have you been up to? Or what have you been working on? It's the present perfect continuous. What have you been working on during the period we haven't seen each other? So this is probably my favorite question, my go-to question. When I see someone I haven't seen in a while, what have you been up to? If someone asks me, what have you been up to? I could say, yeah, just keeping busy. What have you been up to? Mostly just work, but I've also been trying to make more time for exercise. So again, up to can cover work, hobbies, free time, family, everything. It's a really general question. If someone asks me, what have you been working on? Say, I've been involved in this big project that's taken up a lot of my time. Again, I'm using the present perfect in my answers because it's the things I've done since we last saw each other. So I've been trying to make more time for exercise. This project has taken up a lot of my time. Kat, do you have any more examples?
Absolutely. So I want to mention, and I love this phrase as well, just like Mark said, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? Also because it covers a period of time, and then we can add the time. What have you been up to this morning? So over the period of time this morning. What have you been up to this week? Or just in general, like Mark asked, what have you been up to in your life in general since the last time we saw each other? So I like this phrase. It is very versatile, very easy to use, and it's very easygoing. I quite like this phrase a lot. What have you been up to? And Mark's right. If he had said, what have you been doing? I say, why? Do I need to be doing something? Was I doing something bad? So it would feel a little like, what have you been doing lately? I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember. So this is so much more casual, so much more neutral as well. What have you been up to? What have you been up to? Hopefully it's something fun, right? Hopefully that you've been doing something fun. So what have you been up to at work? So not only can we add in a little time, what have you been up to this morning? What have you been up to this week? What have you been up to this month? We can also add a place. What have you been up to at school? What have you been up to at work? What have you been up to at home? So we can add on to this phrase and give it a period of time and a place, which is great and makes it really easy to use. Now, if we want to ask about someone else, What have your kids been up to? What have your students been up to? What have your clients been up to? So then we can ask the question about other people as well. What have your kids, and what has your husband been up to? What has your daughter been up to? What have? And just another easy one. What have you been up to for fun? What have you been doing for fun lately? That's less common, but I have heard it a couple of times as well. Just like Mark, we can talk about the things we have been doing. What have you been up to? What have you been doing? I've been working a lot lately. It's been hard to find a lot of free time. Mark mentioned this, and I think it's a good way to say that, the reason we haven't been hanging out is because I've been working so much. It's almost like, go ahead and sprinkle in the excuse as to why you haven't been hanging out lately. Oh, I've been working so much, or we've been really busy with the house, or, something like that. This is a good time to kind of sprinkle in that little excuse as to what have you been doing? Why have we not hung out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months? Oh, well, I've been working a lot. I've been working a lot. So this is a good time and a good question and a good answer for your excuse. Why? Why haven't we been hanging out? All right, let's continue on with a super simple question. Go ahead, Mark.
The fourth one is, what's new with, and the topic, what's new with you? What's new with you? So, what's new with you? I imagine this scenario, we're in a coffee shop or something, so we meet outside, we go in, we order our drinks, we get our drinks and we sit down. And finally, when we sit down, then we can really start catching up. Then we can actually talk to each other. So I imagine we have the coffee and we sit down. And so, what's new with you? Like, this is the real start of the catch up. This
Yeah.
is a good starter. So, what's new with you? Yeah, what is new? Tell me anything. Can be work, family, hobbies, free time, anything. What's new? What is a new thing that has happened since we last saw each other? What's new with you? Could be about your relationships and work. I can be more specific and say, what's new with work? Maybe I know your job and I know you haven't changed job. You're in the same one. So what's new with work? I want you to talk about your work and share anything interesting or new that's happened. If someone asks me, what's new with you? Not much. That's the shortest answer, the most boring answer, but sometimes the most honest answer that you can give. What's new? Not much. Like, nothing. There is not much that is new. You can extend that. What's new with you? Not much, just the same old routine, Or what's new with you? Not too much. Work's been steady, thankfully. Steady, like consistent. I'm working often. What's new with work? It's been pretty busy, but in a good way. So again, in your answers, you can use the present perfect to describe all the things you have done since your last meeting. So, what's new with work? It's been pretty busy. It has been pretty busy. Kat, do you have any more examples of this structure?
So I completely agree with you. Once you sit down with that coffee and you finally kind of get to business, so to speak, and you say something like, okay, so what's new with you? Now, of course, I don't want to just keep saying, okay, now what's new with the kids? Okay, now what's new with the house? So if I want to ask you specifically about an update, I would say, oh, anything new with this? Maybe we haven't talked about it in a while, but I know you're doing some work on your house. Anything new with the house? any news, any updates? But I feel like it's a little, it's a little rude to poke into someone's life, any news and updates about the house. It's like, okay, calm down, calm down. Just simple and easy. Just, oh, anything new with the house? I mean, I don't care, whatever. Anything new there? If you want to tell me, you can. If you don't, that's okay. Right? So, anything new with this topic, right? So maybe we used to talk about certain things, but I haven't gotten any news or updates. This is also a really good one if, in the past you have been talking about a little bit of gossip, or you've been, someone told you a little bit of a story about something and you want to know how the story ends. So you could say, oh, anything new with you and the guy you've been dating? Anything new with, with our friends who were, fighting the last time we saw each other? Anything new with that? So again, a very simple, easy way to maybe open up the door to a little gossip. If, oh my gosh, yes, you haven't heard? No, I haven't heard. Tell me, tell me. Okay, now I can look excited. But if you're just something easy, anything new with the house? Anything new with work? Just trying to open that door a little bit. So let's continue on. Number 5. Go ahead, Mark.
So the last few questions have started with what, like what's new? What have you been? This next question is a little bit more open. How have things been with, and a topic. So how have things been with the new house? How have things been with the new house? Or how have things been with the baby? How have things been with the baby? So how is often our most open question. It gives you, the other person, lots of ways to respond. You can describe or respond however you like. So if I want to dig a little bit deeper and I want a slightly longer answer from you, I want a bit more details, I will be quiet and listen for a while and drink my coffee. I might choose this question. How have things been? How have things been with the new house? Maybe you moved into a new house and I haven't seen you since then. A lot of things could have happened with decorations, renovations, repairs, and all sorts. So I want to hear all about it. How have things been with the house? Or maybe you've had a baby. That's a great excuse for not catching up. Having a child, you're very busy, and children are always doing exciting or interesting things all the time. So how have things been with the baby? If someone asked me these questions, I could say, how have things been with the new house? Oh, it's been a journey. Lots of DIY projects and decorating. Or how have things been with the baby? Amazing, but exhausting. You can break the rule. I know we've been talking about the present perfect a lot. It has been good. It has been busy. But I think native speakers sometimes ignore the present perfect grammar. How have things been with the baby? Amazing, but exhausting. This is the same as how have things been at work? Oh, busy. You can just answer with one word, and that would be correct. So you could choose. If the present perfect slips your mind, don't worry, you're still correct. Native speakers cheat as well. Okay, Kat, do you have any more questions and more examples?
Sure. So how have things been and how have things been going? Very similar questions. We add just a little word. How have things been going? So I wouldn't probably usually just say, how have things been? How have things been? Oh, they've been good. Oh, they've been bad. How have things been going? So kind of over time. How have things been going? How have things been going? This is starting, like Mark said, this is starting to kind of open up the conversation. We tend to be very positive in small talk. We tend to, especially Americans and Brits, we tend to be quite positive. We're not really going to be oversharing these negative or dramatic things right away. So sometimes we need to take a little moment to kind of get deeper into the conversation. So, what Mark said, how have things been? How have things been? This is starting to open up your feelings. Oh, things have been kind of difficult, right? So now we can start opening up with a little bit of that negativity, a little bit of life, real life. Not everything is positive, not everything is even neutral. So if you are catching up with friends, these would be great sentences to start to, it's okay. We can talk. We can talk. How have things been going with the baby? Oh, honestly, I'm exhausted, right? So
Mhm.
it's good. We're starting to open up. So if I just say, "What have you been doing?" We usually say positive things, happy things. Oh, we went on vacation and then we got back and we've been working a lot. That's very neutral. How have things been going with work? I'm tired. Work's been rough. This is opening the door to you sharing your feelings with the word how. So that's kind of more of what we would be asking. How have things been going? How have things been going? So here we go. We're going to ask an even deeper question. When you feel like you are ready to have those real conversations, you've chit-chatted a little bit, you've been positive, but maybe your friend is feeling tired or exhausted or wanting to share something a bit deeper. How would you go about asking them about that or kind of inviting them to talk, Mark?
Yeah, right. We've been circling the subject
Mm,
around the outside. Now we're going to go deep into it and ask for their honest feelings. If you genuinely think someone, has been struggling since you last saw each other or hasn't had an easy run of things lately, the deeper question you can ask is, have things been going okay? Have things been going okay? We talked about this before we recorded. Okay
mm,
is in a textbook. Okay is neutral. It's not good. It's not bad. It's okay. But okay actually has more meaning than that. Okay can be about good health. It could be about good physical health. I'm okay. I'm healthy. Mental health. I'm okay means mentally I'm well. So okay actually is a question about how you are. Do you need help? If you are not okay, you probably need help. You might need help from a doctor or from somebody else or help from your friends. If you are okay, then actually you're okay on your own. So the word okay is the word we use instead of like healthy or doing
mm.
well. It's actually it has a lot of meaning, this one
It
word.
does. It
Mm.
does.
So I want to ask you, have things been going okay? Like, I want to know about your health. I want you to be honest with me. If someone has been sick or unwell, you could say, health wise, have you been feeling all right? This is more British. The word okay and all right are both the same in British English, and they both carry the same meaning, a lot of meaning. I'm I'm all right means I'm okay by myself. I'm not all right means I need help from a doctor or friends or some professional. So I can do that in British English. Health wise, have you been feeling all right? Or have you been doing okay just in general? This question means I want an honest answer. We're going deep now. Share with me, be honest with me. If it's been good or bad, please tell me. I'm your friend. I care about you. So if someone asks me, have things been going okay? I say, yeah, I've been all right. I have good days and bad days. Or health wise, have you been feeling all right? Honestly, it's been a bit rough lately. I've been dealing with some work stress, but I'm trying to stay positive. So if you really want full honesty from your friend, these are the questions to ask. Do you have any more examples for these ones?
I do. And this actually happened quite recently. I was catching up with a friend, and she had told me a little bit about how she was taking a break from work and just kind of enjoying some time off. So then we had a moment to ourselves, and I asked her, I said, "Oh, so has everything been okay at work? Has everything been okay at work?" I didn't say, "Oh, are you unhappy at work? Is this why you quit? Is this why you're taking a break?" No, it's not pointing the finger. I'm simply saying, "Is everything okay at work?" And this helps a lot because I'm not using, "Are you okay?" Because if I say, "Are you okay?" then I would say, you personally. But is everything going okay? Is everything going okay? Has everything been going okay? And it's also in your tone of voice, but if someone asks me, "Hey, Kat, are you okay?" "Yeah, why? Do you think something's wrong?" It sounds like you are worried about me and you care and you think that something is wrong with me. So, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" "Oh, you looked sad." "Oh, no, 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 I'm okay. I'm just maybe it's my face." So, this word okay is exactly what Mark said. It carries more meaning than just, "Yeah, okay, okay, cool. Okay, yeah." We do use that word to mean, "Sure, yep, okay, got it. Easy." But when we're talking about, are you everything's okay? "Oh, your husband told me about this. Have you been doing okay? Have you been doing okay?" This is where we're getting into, do you need to talk about it? Would you like to talk about it? Actually, that's a good phrase too. If someone is opening up and saying, "Oh, honestly, it was a little bit difficult, but we got through it." You might ask a question, say, "Would you like to talk about it? I'm happy to listen." Or they say, "No, no, it's fine. It's fine. We're okay. We're good. We're okay." We'll leave it at that. We don't like to pry, Pry. We don't like to pry. Usually we ask one question. If they don't want to answer it, we move on. They might eventually open up, but it's not very common to continue asking questions. It would be considered rude. "Oh, no, I said I was okay. You can leave me alone now." It's people's privacy. That's when they would keep it private and you can move on with the conversation.
Okay, so now we can wrap things up. These are some phrases for the end of the catch up, the end of the conversation. So you've given all the updates, you've shared everything new that has happened since your last meeting, and now it's time to say goodbye. Some phrases you can say at the end are, "It was so great to finally catch up." It was so great to finally catch up. The grammar changes because the conversation, the catch up, is finished. The catching up is done, so it was. Now it's finished, it's in the past tense. Even though we're still here and we can still see each other and we're still in the coffee shop, the catch up is done and we're saying goodbye. So it goes to the past tense in English. It was so great to finally catch up. It was so great to see you again. So before you stand up or when you're hugging each other to say goodbye, "It was so great to see you again. It was so great to finally catch up." If someone says that to me, "It was so great to finally catch up." Absolutely. I've missed our chats. Again, I have missed our chats during the time we haven't seen each other. There's so much present perfect in this episode. Or someone says, "It was so great to see you again." I know. It was so lovely catching up. So it was so lovely. It was, the catch up is done. So it was great. It was so lovely catching up. Kat, do you have any more phrases you can use at the end?
Yes, it was so good to see you. It was so good to see you. I also like to I found that with a lot of my American friends, we tend to write a quick message, especially after the conversation is done. We've left
Mm.
the coffee shop, maybe we've driven home, we've arrived home, and I would say, "Oh, it was so good to see you. Let's do this again soon. It was so good to see you. let's try to meet up again sooner rather than later. Let's not wait 3 months before we see each other again. And I think it's not just polite because I don't usually write those messages if I didn't have a good time. If I just saw a friend and, okay, things were normal, I don't normally say that. But if I had a really good time, it really was good to see them. So I don't just lie to be polite. I actually did have a good time. And it's just kind of a fun way to end the conversation and try to open up the door to invite them out maybe another time. Hey, I'm free this time every week. Would love to catch up in a couple of weeks. I'm always free on Tuesdays. We should try to meet up again next month. So this is also inviting them and kind of opening up that invitation to possibly meet again very soon.
Okay, so there you go. Lots of natural phrases, questions, structures to help you chat and catch up with your friends in English. Like always, we do read and reply to all of your comments here on YouTube, so why not take the chance to practice with us? Let's catch up. What's new with you? Or how have things been going with you? Have you been okay? Has everything been okay? Please let us know.
Don't forget that you can get a PDF transcript of this episode and all of our other episodes too. So if you want to follow along line by line for all of this good dialogue, all of this good conversation, you can by becoming a high-level listening member. Thank you so much to all of our members. We have over 160 members at this moment, and everyone is getting a brand new transcript for every video. So you have hundreds and hundreds of transcripts to look through, and they should help you take your studying to the next level.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. We will see you for another video very soon. Goodbye.